So this is continuation of our BIP training. In the
Correct.
earlier session, we just discussed the basic concept of reporting technologies which are available in the Fusion. And also
Yes.
we have seen how do we create an XPT report from the Fusion application instance. Now
Yes.
we'll try to create a report based on an RTF template. And there are two tasks here. One is an RTF template generated by Fusion application. This is one option. Another one is RTF template created by developer. So we'll try to see both options for one of the table, one of the query. Okay. So maybe we can take our project related query only. So that like I will have a, or maybe I can take any other one also.
Okay.
Maybe like, yeah. So I'll take AR invoices, RA customer transactions all.
Okay.
Okay. So this is my AR data. Now what I want to do is I want to create an AR invoice report. So I'll try to mention the task also. The first task is create an AR invoice report based on the invoice number selected. Okay. So this
Mm-hmm.
is called parameterized report. But first of all, we'll try to design a report without parameters, and then we'll discuss about how do we pass parameters. Okay.
Okay.
So like one is without parameters, and other one is based on the parameters. So now first task is like to create any BIP report. The steps are, the first thing is design the query. Once the query is ready, we have to create data model, and then we have to create a report and attach the template. So nothing but after second step, we have to perform, we have to create template based on the sample data which we get from step 2.
Okay.
So to create template, definitely we require a sample data. Without that, it is very difficult. Of course, still it is possible, but it's not the wise way of doing it.
Yeah.
Finally, test the report. So ideally just couple of steps only. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now let us see. First of all, our query is ready. So this is our query, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we'll just go to our instance. Either you can navigate to /analytics or XMLP server. Both will work for the BIP report.
Okay.
So now I'll just click on create, and here in the publishing reporting, you have to click on data model.
Yes.
I will say AR invoice details DM. So here AR invoice details Q. And here data source, you have to select FSCM and mention the query. Okay. So now here,
Okay.
if you observe, yeah, this is from clauses missing, right?
Yes. That's from there.
So, so now here, if you observe in this particular query, there is no filter criteria, which is not at all a good way of designing a report.
Yes.
But it depends upon the data model also. Nothing but this table may have around more than 2 lakhs records. So now in this kind of scenario, generally we always require to provide a filter criteria. Or let us say if the business itself want all the data, yeah, there is no other option. We have to get all the data. Okay.
Yes.
So, and also all the columns now, if you, this table may have more than 150 columns. So getting 150 columns also is a time consuming. So now what we can do is maybe we can try to mention, let's say RAT dot customer transaction ID, RAT dot transaction number. Okay. Okay. I'll just select 4 columns.
Mm-hmm.
Now save it. Click on data. Now we are able to see the data now, right? And by default, when you click on view data, if you observe here, let us say I am in the diagram now, I clicked on data, click on view data, always data will get displayed in the XML fashion. So that is a by standard Oracle standard logic. There is no
That's the
solution.
default.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
default view, default tree view. We have to click
Okay.
on explicitly table view to see the data.
Mhm. Okay.
Now what we do is like the first step is done and even the second step is done, right? As per our logic. Design the query is done. We have created data model also. Two steps are done. Now we
Mhm.
have to create a template based on the sample data which we get from step two. So how do you get the sample data? So you have to click on export. You have to click on export. So now there are two ways of creating a template. The, the first option is you can generate the template by using a Fusion application itself, or as a developer, you can create the template explicitly.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if at all, if you want the Fusion to create a sample template, let us see the first option. Let the Fusion generate the sample template, right? So now what we
Okay.
do is, so this is a 3.1
Mhm.
RTF template generated by the Fusion application instance. To have this logic, what you have to do is you have to click on save as sample data. Now sample data got saved, and then
Mhm.
what you can do is first of all click on save here also, and then
Mhm.
click on create report. Click on create report. Before that,
From
the
that sample data.
yes. So now I
Okay.
prefer to change this where clause here so that like it will not flood with the data. So I'll just say 100
Mhm.
records. Yeah, for now.
Okay.
So the step is click on data, click on view data,
Mhm.
save as sample data so that based on the sample data, Oracle Fusion can generate the template. So now click on create report. So
Mhm.
now it will go to the next step.
Mhm.
So here data model got automatically selected, and
Mhm.
here you click on use a report editor. If at all, if you go with the first option, it will go with the XPT logic. We don't want XPT logic. We want to go with the RTF logic. So
Oh, so
yes,
so 1 second.
yeah,
So if you don't change it to use report editor,
yeah,
it's going to create it using the XPT.
yes,
And XPT, you can only then give it the format Excel or whatever. So it's not as modifiable.
yes. If you want to modify anything, you can modify only from the Fusion application instance, and that is a tedious job. And you cannot have,
Yeah.
and you can have multiple tables also, but still,
Mhm.
it is not that much flexible template.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Okay. We'll just click on use report editor and click on finish.
Mhm.
Now, this step, it is asking us to save the report. So
Mhm.
data model is a different component, a report is a different component.
Okay.
For the end user, this is the component will be shown. Here now, that is the reason I generally mention we are mentioning the name as the report, AR invoice details report.
Okay.
Now the data model is automatically attached because we have clicked on create report from the data model task. That is one way of creating a report. You can also create a report directly from the create button also from here. When you perform a create report from here, data
Mhm.
model will not be selected automatically. We have to select explicitly. That's the only difference.
Also, if you just create report from the options from the create option, then you have to supply the data model that the report will be based on.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. That's
Okay.
only, yes, that's only
Okay.
change. Now here, if
Okay.
you observe, you can create the basic templates and here you can upload the templates. Now here, we don't want to perform upload as because our template is not ready yet. But we want the
Okay.
Fusion application itself to generate the template based on the sample data which we saved already. Click on generate. Now it is
Mhm.
asking us to mention a template. A report can have n number of templates. And out of that, only one template can be active.
Okay. So, okay,
Yeah,
we've gone past it.
it's okay.
Um,
I can
yeah.
delete and I'll do redo it.
Okay, thank you. So I was going to ask,
Mhm.
if you got
Yeah,
back. Okay,
yes.
here.
Mhm.
So up there it says basic template. You have blank portrait, landscape, header footer portrait, header footer landscape. if so, you're saying you wanted to generate, I guess, from the sample data you have saved, right? Which is
Yes.
layout based on selected data model. Now, if you selected up there where it
Mm,
says blank portrait, landscape, and then header footer, is it just if you selected any of those,
mm.
can you still do generate at the bottom?
No,
Okay.
no. Once we select that, right? So now here, if you observe, it is going to XPT only.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
if you see the the way it is working, right? So it's simply
Mhm.
loading the
Mhm.
report and it is selecting the XPT logic.
Okay.
The blank, it is generating a blank XPT report, and from there again the same story, drag and drop. Yeah, you
Drag
have
and
to
drop your columns on here, right?
yes, you have to drag and drop the data table first, and then the columns. So now it generated a blank template, not even a table wizard. Here, if you observe, it is not even template. It's not even having any table region. Until unless you
Mhm.
have table region, these columns will not even work. So we have to drag and drop the table and then the columns.
So what when you say drag and drop a table,
Yeah, this
you're
one.
talking about you only have one table right now, right?
Yes, yes,
And so then you now put columns in the table?
yes. We have to like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 Yeah. Now I'll click on add new layout.
Uh-huh.
We'll go with generate
Right. Okay.
output.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the template got generated, and there are a
Mhm.
couple of settings better to change it. First thing is click on properties, and here we have an option, couple of options.
Mhm.
Auto run, I'll just disable it so that until unless user clicks on view report, it will not show the
Mhm.
data.
Okay.
And click on view as a list. You can check out what is the default format you want. So we can go with HTML as of now. And output formats also, you can limit the output formats. Let us say you just want only HTML, Excel,
Excel. Okay.
and CSV. You can limit the output formats also.
Okay. So what's the difference between the output format and the default? The default is just you're selecting which one it's going to print on the screen first.
Yes,
But you can then select any of the output formats after that.
yes. So now, yeah, we'll see the report and then you can easily understand. So now I'll just
Okay.
click on view report. As our
Mhm.
output default format is HTML, it
Mhm.
has to show the data here. Now I'll just click on refresh. Yeah. Now
Yes.
data got shown here, but let us
Mhm.
say as per our output enablement, so we have selected three
Okay.
options. You can see only three options. If you select more, it will show more here.
Well, absolutely. Got it.
Yeah. And also you can generate. Now you can export also this one, export the data also.
Export.
Similar option actually. So now here if you select, what is happening is,
Uh-huh.
if at all if the output is viewable, it will view here. Let us say if it is CSV, it may view here itself, right?
Okay.
But let us say if you want to export the CSV data, you have to click on this gear icon, click on
Mhm.
export.
Oh, so okay, one is just for display purpose and the other
Yeah,
you can export. Okay.
yes, that's the difference.
Okay.
Okay, so this is how we can generate a template.
Mhm.
Now here, when you click on this gear icon, right, so you have an option called edit report and edit layout. Edit layout means it will edit the template which we are using here. But we have to click
Mhm.
on edit report. Let us if you want to do some setting change, right? Then you have to
Mhm.
click on edit report. So that it will go to the report. And this
Mhm.
report, you can add up any number of templates. Now let's say we want to work on create a template based on we want to create a template using our local system, nothing but using a BI plugin. So far, whatever we have discussed, clear?
Yeah, so far so good. But the next one you said you want to use a BI plugin.
Yes, template based on
Okay.
the BI plugin.
Okay.
So yeah. So for that, what we require a XML data.
Okay.
So now I'll just go to catalog and let's open open the report, AR invoice data model.
Mhm.
So here we have to click on export.
Mhm.
So this will generate the XML data. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll just cut paste this to one of the folder here.
Mhm.
And you can observe here the top level tag, XML tag, right? The top level tag is data DS and
Mhm.
followed by the group name and followed by column names. And the hierarchy will be based, hierarchy is similar to like this. Top level tag, group name, nothing but record name and the values, columns.
What does DS? Do you know what DS stands for?
Data
Data
source,
set.
data
Okay.
set or data source, yeah. Data sets
Okay.
only, yeah. Data sets, right?
Okay.
DS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Data structure maybe, yeah. You can see here.
Mhm.
Data structure.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So the top level tag here, right? So here if you observe for report data, there is no tag and the XML tag is getting started from here. And here, even though we mentioned our data model name as AR invoice details queue, but the XML
Mhm.
tag name is G underscore one. Why it is G underscore one? Because by default, Oracle generates the groups based on the G followed by numbers, one, two,
Numbers.
three, four, like
Okay.
that. Right?
Okay.
And you can click on the structure and you can change the properties also. If you want to change, have a different group name, yes, still you can do it.
Okay.
Okay. For now, we'll just ignore all of them.
Mhm.
So we got sample data.
Mhm.
Now, next thing is we'll just open MS Word. Yeah.
Mhm.
Click on blank document.
Mhm.
So what I'll do is I'll save the file.
Mhm.
So AR invoice template. So click on BI publisher and click on
So you saved this Word document as
no. This should be RTF. Sorry,
okay.
sorry.
Okay.
1 minute. This should be AR invoice TMPL RTF rich text format.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. You're asking something? The same question or?
Yeah, so this Word document you just saved it as AR invoice RTF.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, so now this particular template, whatever we design, the output will be generated according to the format what we design now.
Okay.
Okay. So now let us say if you observe, these are all normal things, but yeah, let us say I'll have header, right? I'll click on insert header.
Mhm.
Let's say AR invoice report.
Okay. Okay. So you just did insert header.
Yeah, that's it. Yes.
Okay.
And let's say I'll just insert, maybe if you want to have page numbers and all them, we can insert all of them also.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Let's say I want to insert page numbers,
Okay.
bottom of the page.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. For now, it's okay. We just
Yeah.
have in header and invoice, header and footer. Now
Okay.
I click on BI publisher and
Mhm.
click on sample XML.
Okay.
We have to select the XML file. Now this is the
Yes.
XML file which we got from Fusion application. Click on open.
Mhm. Okay.
Now here we have wizard options and we have different other options also. But let us start with the easier logic. So click on table wizard.
Okay.
So now in the table wizard, we have three options again, table, form and free form.
Yeah.
Table is selected when you want to display multiple records in the output. And a
Yes.
form is selected when you want to have only one particular record. Free form is similar to the form only. So now
Okay.
we want to display multiple invoices. So I'll prefer table
The
logic.
table. Okay.
Click on next. And here data set, as of now, we have only one data set. So we don't have any confusion here. Simply select the existing data set,
Yes.
right? Next. and
Mhm.
select the columns, the 4 columns. Next,
Mhm.
and if at all, still we can do a grouping at this report level also, like a group by, then by. If you remember earlier, you were asking the grouping logic, right? So we
Yes.
can group here also. It
Mhm.
all depends upon the developer as well as the data model, what you have.
Okay.
Now click on finish. So now this
Mhm.
generated the template. Now here by
Okay.
default the column names, like this now if you observe the column name, right, this is not correct actually. I mean to say this does not look appealing. So you can just modify a little bit. Let's say customer transaction
Right.
ID,
Mhm.
TRXN number,
Mhm.
TRXN date. Like this you can format
Got it.
sold to ID. And all
Okay.
the normal MS Word features, whichever we use it, we can just change it accordingly. Now let us say I want to change the color.
Okay.
Yeah, I can change a little bit like this. Okay. And maybe if you want to have change font, yeah, can anything you can normal MS Word features, whatever
Well,
you,
it is good.
yeah, we
So I
can
have
do
a
it.
quick question.
Sure.
So for this demo case, it's
Mhm.
awesome because we have only 4 columns, right?
Yes.
Now, in reality,
Mhm.
sometimes you could have a column with maybe 20 columns.
Yes.
And if it won't fit here on this
Yes.
little layout,
Yes.
what's the best? Say, for example, this report, you add 16 more rows,
Hmm.
and now it's not going to fit here.
Hmm.
What do you do?
Okay. So now there are two questions here. The first thing is if you have a larger number of columns, what you do?
Hmm.
The first thing is if you have a larger number of columns, and basic thing what we do is the first thing what we do is we'll just change the layout. So we'll try to adjust like this, increase the layout, and maybe decrease the column size, and increase the margins,
Sorry, you went to layout and then you selected what?
layout and orientation, landscape,
Okay. Oh,
and
landscape. Okay.
yeah, and you can change the margin, you can decrease the margins, or you can
Hmm.
change the sizes also. Now let us say click on more page sizes. Now if you observe, right, so here A4 is selected already. Now
Hmm.
maybe I don't think it will have more than this. Let's say if it goes beyond this, yeah, maybe I'll just increase more.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I increase a little bit more.
Hmm.
So I'll increase how
Okay.
much it supports. Let us say still it is not working. Still, let us say still a requirement is not getting happening here. The other
Hmm.
option is we have to go with Excel sheet. In Excel sheet, yeah, there is no limit. You can have larger number of columns there.
So instead of using, you already have your you here you're using the RTF layout, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying you can instead go to Excel and you have the same publisher plugin there, and then you
Yes.
can open your XML file on
Yes.
Excel and
Yes.
do the same thing.
Yes. Correct. That's correct.
Okay. Okay.
We'll see that. I'll show you that template also so that like you can understand that.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So now our
Mhm.
template is almost ready. And
Mhm.
before uploading, better to validate in the instance itself,
Mhm.
in the local instance, local desktop only. So in the BI publisher, here we can see the preview in all these particular ways.
Mhm.
An RTF template is capable enough to generate the data in all these 7 formats. So I'll go
Okay.
with PDF first. So click on
Mhm.
PDF, and yep, it is able to generate the data. Of course, if you observe the format, it is not good, right? Now date is like this, and this
Yeah.
width is not correct. So these all generally, we have to fix it here itself rather than going to the instance and modifying. It is better to
Mhm.
fix here itself. Now let us say, for now, I'll just increase the width of the date, and then
Yeah.
I'll try to see the preview. So it should fix now at least, right? It's almost fixed
Yeah.
now. It is in at
Okay.
least in a particular tabular format, even though content is not correct, but
Mhm.
format is fine as of now. So
Yeah.
assume this particular sample template output is okay. Then what we can do is we can go to the Fusion instance and go to the report. So in the report here, if you observe, you already have a template here. You already
Mhm.
have template. So now what we can do is either way, assume that whether you have it or not, the option is we have to select on the add new template only because this is the first time we are creating a template. So definitely we have to click on add new template, add new layout.
Mhm.
Now click on upload. Now choose the file. AR invoice template RTF, and a layout
Mhm.
name as AR invoice TMPL V1, and English. Type is RTF
Okay.
template, local as English. And here you can observe these number of templates are supported in Oracle Fusion. RTF, PDF,
Oh,
Excel, Flash, XSL, and all these things. So out of
okay.
this, the majority template is RTF,
Mhm.
Excel, and then even XSL also, and then eText also.
Okay.
So we'll try to discuss on those three templates: RTF, XSL, and eText. Excel, RTF,
And,
Excel, eText, and XSL, four templates.
okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Now click on upload,
Mhm.
and now we can click on view as a list. And here, if you observe by default, only one layout can be default, right? Now, if you select the
Yes.
first one, it will go, second one will go. That's how it is. So let us
Absolutely.
say I want to have my new template as default output and default format as, let us say I want to have PDF. That's it. You
Mhm.
can modify these output formats or you can ignore as of now and click on save and view
Mhm.
report.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have to click on refresh, right? So as we have removed
Yes.
auto run, yeah.
Auto run.
So
Yes.
this is how it looks like, the PDF output.
Great. Okay.
And you can see the first page, second page, third page, like this.
Okay.
Now let's say, assume that like you have modified the template now.
Mhm.
Generally it goes on, right? There is always a
Mhm.
need to modify the template, right?
Yes.
So I'll say AR invoice report details, and maybe I want to insert some information here like this.
Oh,
Right?
why are you doing this? When
I'm
you
just
creating,
yeah,
quick question. Sorry to interrupt.
yeah,
You're creating like a default header for the
yes,
report.
yes,
Um,
yes,
but sometimes you want to add a company logo
yes,
to the report.
correct.
Um, okay.
We
You
can do
have
that.
a sample?
Yeah, yeah, we can add up,
Okay.
or maybe you can add up any icon, right?
Yes.
Or I can, yeah, maybe I can add up.
Okay. So you're doing this on the header section. Okay.
Yes, correct. Because so that yeah, generally this part of header, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is not going. I am not sure I have any logo. I'll try to get it.
Okay. No problem.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Wait, wait.
That's a big one.
Yeah, then this correct. Where is it going? Maybe I'll save as image.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I click on insert pictures, this device. Why?
Mm. I guess because that header collapsed, it should be wider, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's some issue in the copying or fine. Let me try insert.
Okay.
Oh, it's not copying here.
Okay.
Not sure the issue.
There you go. Okay.
I'll show you one thing. So before this, you can observe edit report. So here, just check the existing Oracle template, right? The one Oracle template was generated.
Hmm.
Can you see the Oracle logo here?
Okay.
So it's part of header only. Whatever you're doing
Okay.
is correct only, but not sure why it is not
Why
working.
it's not?
Yeah.
Okay.
So generally, this how like this Oracle logo.
Okay.
Let me try again. So insert,
Yeah. Maybe try the header.
yeah, header.
Yeah. Uh huh.
So header here
Yeah.
and insert picture device.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe of course we have to do a formatting and like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we can generally what we do is we always create a table here
Mhm.
like this, and we adjust the logo in this one,
Mhm.
and here we generally set it at the appropriate left or right like this.
Okay. So you did it in the table, you said?
Yes, table,
Okay.
insert table, and now let's
Mhm.
say here we generally add the location, address,
Mhm.
email, etc.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you can just remove this what you call lines, border styles, no border or something. Yeah,
Okay.
like this.
Got it.
Now you can just see the preview
Mhm.
PDF. So this how it will be.
Okay. Got it.
And now we have updated the template. So what we have to do is click on view as a list, or maybe yeah, instead of view as a list, simply so now it's showing the list of templates, right? So
Mhm.
simply click on properties here on the
Mhm.
template which you want to modify. Now this is a template which we have modified. We don't want
Yeah.
to upload a new version. So generally, one more thing. So when you're designing with the templates, don't try to replace the existing template. Okay. Always test
Mhm.
your new template separately. If you think it is correct, then only replace the existing one, or maybe disable the existing one and enable your template.
Okay.
Okay. So
Mhm.
yeah, click on properties, and now here click on upload icon. Choose the template.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is our template.
Mhm.
English. And the locale already exists. Do you want to overwrite? Yes, we want to overwrite.
Mhm.
Save it. click on return, save it, click on view report.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we are able to see the.
Oh, very good. Can you repeat that step? So you said if you go back to the layout
Mhm,
and there was one already existing, right?
mhm.
And all you did was edit and then you uploaded. No, in the
The see this,
Oracle itself.
yeah, this Oracle template. Yes.
Yes. Oh
Mhm.
no, not here. In the inside the Oracle Fusion.
Okay. In the Oracle Fusion, you meant to say
Yes.
the template upload.
Yes. The.
Okay. You have to click on edit report.
Hmm.
Once you click on edit report, it shows the list
Yes.
of templates available in this report,
Yes.
and you have to click on properties.
Hmm.
Click on properties, and
Hmm.
then here we have to click on the upload icon. This icon, upload.
Okay. Okay.
And here, if you
Okay.
observe, the locale is nothing but generally when we design templates, we have a language specific templates also. Automatic translation is also available for the templates. In
Okay.
those cases, this local will helpful. But as of now, if at all, if you have only one language specific output
Hmm.
in the template, this does not matter.
Hmm.
But generally, you have to go with English only.
Okay.
So now I'll select my template, RTF file,
Hmm.
and local as English. The same local I'm selecting here.
Hmm.
If you select a different local, it will insert a new record there. So
Okay.
that will make more confusion. So better to mention the same local so that it will
Okay.
replace the
Hold on.
existing. Yeah,
Okay. Hold on. Before you do okay,
yeah.
I see because we designed this one as RTF,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Um, if say it was an XLS, you see the template type. Do you change it there, or does it inherit
Yeah,
the
I'll tell you.
extension?
I'll tell you. See, for the
Okay.
art, for the Excel template types, you cannot
Mhm.
replace the existing one. You have to delete it and you have to load it. There is no other option.
Oh wow.
So this
Okay.
this replacement is available only for RTF.
Oh,
No
for
other
RTF.
templates. Yes.
Okay.
The other
Okay.
templates you have to
Yeah,
delete it.
you have to delete it. And when you delete it, if say here you do template and you select choose file, say it's the name dot XLS, right? You see where it says template type?
Mhm.
Can you drop down there
Here it
in
does.
the
It will
middle?
not show. I'll show you. See,
It will not show. Okay.
I'll show you
Okay.
that one. Let me finish this.
Okay.
I'll show you that. So now
Okay.
I'll just click on OK. So this step
Okay.
will overwrite our
Your
existing
RTF.
template. Now
Okay.
click on save, click on
Mhm.
return. Now let us say if you want to add a new template, click on add new layout. Now
Mhm.
upload. So for the Excel template, it will show this one,
Mhm.
Excel template. This is what it shows, EXEL
Mhm.
template. And
Okay.
local, same thing, English, and then mention the layout name and then the template name.
Okay. Got it. Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Now this report, what we have done is we just designed a very simple report and we have seen two ways of generating a template.
Yes.
So now what we do is we'll modify this report and we'll try to add a parameter to this.
Okay.
Okay. So now what we do is there are two options here again. So maybe we can, like let us say if we don't want to disturb this report, what we can do is we can copy paste the template and report as a new one and then we can modify that. Or else we can
Okay.
modify this itself. Okay.
Okay.
So you know the option, right? Let us say, yeah, let us say that I don't want to disturb this report. What I'll do is I'll make use of this report and try to design a new report now. Okay. So
Okay. So you
I'll
just
just,
copy.
yeah. So I'll just copy
Okay.
and then
Okay.
again, I want to paste here only, right? In the same folder so that I'll just
Mhm.
select some other
Okay.
folder and come back here again. And then the paste option will be available. So I'll just click on paste.
Okay.
And similarly for the report also, I'll click on copy and now paste option is not shown yet. So what I'll do is I'll just select some other folder and come back to the same folder. Then I can see the paste option.
Okay.
Okay. So now when
Okay.
you're pasting the report, right? So now data model is independent component, but report is always dependent upon the data model.
Mhm.
So now we'll see that. So now let us say I'll replace this one, rename this one. I'll rename here
Mhm.
AR invoice
Mhm.
with param data
Okay.
model. AR invoice with
Yes.
param DM. So now similarly, I'll
Okay.
change the report name also here. Click on properties, rename AR invoice with param report.
Got it.
Okay. So now here, what I'll do is, yeah, in the first window, I'll just open the data model AR invoice with param like this. And
Mm-hmm.
similarly, in the second window, the second tab,
Mm-hmm.
AR invoice with param prompt, click on edit. And
Mm-hmm.
here, if you observe, we have to be very careful in this scenario. Now we copied the report. Now here, if you observe, it is still pointing to the old data
Into
model.
the old data model, so you
So you
have
have to
to change
select,
it here.
yes, you have to replace,
Okay.
you have to select the latest one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Generally, this is also one of the issue we face it. Like sometimes we just copy paste and we forget it, and it refers to
Second,
old data model always.
yeah. That's true.
Yeah. So now here in this one, our requirement is to, let us say I want to pass the transaction number as an input.
Mm-hmm.
We want to pass transaction number. So now what we do is we have to prepare the query for the LOV. We have to prepare the query for the LOV. So now this was a query which was generating all the data. But now what
Mm-hmm.
we want to do is we want to prepare the list of value query. So the LOV query, and of course we don't have the BU and all those things, but for now we can just ignore all of them. So let us say we want to mention transaction number and
Mm-hmm.
customer transaction ID. So little bit tricky here. So now here if you observe, when we design a lookup, right? When we design a lookup, if you're aware, we have two things, right? Generally lookup code and meaning.
Yes.
Let, let me write like this. Meaning and lookup code. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now I'll try to write this query in two ways because I want to show one of the very important functionality. Okay.
Fantastic.
So now this is version 1 of my query,
Mm-hmm.
version 1, and this
Mm-hmm.
version 2. Understand the difference and then we'll try to understand the lookup. So now this is
Okay.
my query. Let us say I'll make it as, like a go to lookup, not, sorry, list of values. Click on list of values here,
Mm-hmm.
version 1, TRX LOV, and data source again similar to our FSCM only, and
Mm-hmm.
mention the query, transaction number from so and so. Click on
Yes.
save. If no errors, it means that our query is okay. Again, click
Yes.
on plus symbol, and I'll try to mention the V2 also.
Mm-hmm.
V2, transaction LOV,
Mm-hmm.
mention the next one.
Okay.
Same thing. Click on save. No issues. Now, this LOVs cannot be executed. It has to be assigned to the parameters. Then only you can see the result of it.
That's true.
So now what I'll do is I'll create two parameters again, like a P1 LOV, like a P1 with version 1 LOV. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And parameter type here by default, generally you have text, right? Here,
Mm-hmm.
data type, we have lot number of things like string, integer like this. Data type, let us go with a string only. And parameter type, now we have to select menu here. We'll select menu. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And here I'll say version 1 transaction LOV, transaction 1. I'll just version 1 transaction number. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And the list of values selected is version 1 transaction number. Okay. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
unselecting all of them options here. I'll just, I want to ignore all of this. And similarly, I'll create one more parameter, parameter parameter 2, version 2, LOV, and I'll go with menu. And here I'll select version 2 transaction LOV.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Version 2 transaction number.
Mm-hmm.
And here I'll ignore this one. Save it.
Mm-hmm.
And here this reorder you can do it. Let us say if you want the first one to be shown first, so I'll just go with this way. Yeah. Now P1 is in the top. And if you at all, if you want to have multiple rows, you can mention that also. Let us say I want to show this one a second row. I'll select like this. It will show in second row.
Second row.
Yeah. Now once you open here, right, we can understand that. Can you
Mm-hmm.
see? It is showing the second row like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now let us say here if you observe, right?
Sorry, Shri. So if you didn't click second row, everything will be on the same line.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
That is at the parameter selection. So now once you click on parameter, assume that I
Mm-hmm.
want to display like a side by side. I just mentioned
Yeah.
one now. So it should display side by side. Of course, sometimes it will take time to replace. Okay. I mean, refresh.
Refresh. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Now
I
it
see.
got refreshed. Now here, if you
Okay.
observe, right, in the first case, the invoice number is some like a UK like this, or maybe I'll select some. invoice number. Let us say this is my invoice number in the first case, and in the
Mhm.
second case, yeah, invoice number is like this. I'll simply click on view, and here observe it now. So in the first case, whatever we selected is getting displayed here.
Mhm.
In the second case, it is not displaying 1074, it is displaying 4062.
Mhm.
So it means that if your list of value query is having multiple columns, okay, let us say if it now in the version 1 scenario we have only one column, so it will simply return that value from the list of value.
Mhm.
If it is having multiple values, it will return the second one. Now I have transaction number and customer transaction ID. In the version
Mhm.
2 scenario, it is generating customer transaction ID for us. That is why it is not 1074, it is
Mhm.
106 4062 here.
Mhm.
That is the reason. So we have to choose what we want, whether you want ID or whether you want a number. Nothing but in the project scenario, let us say whether you want project number from the LOV or whether you want project ID from the LOV.
Okay.
So that's how we have to choose appropriately.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. So maybe, yeah. So now what we can do is, let us say I want to pass transaction ID. Okay. I want to pass transaction ID as an input to the query. So then what I'll do, so from where we are getting the transaction ID? So this P2 LOV is having the transaction ID, isn't it?
Mhm.
P2 is having the transaction ID. So I'll select here in the AR invoice query, and here I'll select where 1 is equal to 1 and RAT dot customer transaction ID is equal to colon parameter. We have to
What is?
mention,
Why do you say where one is equal to one?
see, this is generally a standard way of writing a query. There is no,
Okay.
there is no real meaning, but the meaning here is 1 is equal to 1 means a true condition.
Okay.
And what is the need of writing here is as a developer, when we write multiple and conditions or conditions, sometimes, as it is a manually written format, there is a chance of
Mhm.
replacing something, or let us say sometimes you want to comment a certain particular set of conditions. If you
Mhm.
don't have, if you don't have 1 is equal to 1, what will happen is now, here I'll just have something like this, right? Here I'll just need to I will not, I should not mention any condition here. And
Yeah.
my condition starts from here. Now let us say,
Mhm.
I want to introduce one more condition, and I want to introduce another condition now, and I want to
Mhm.
comment the first one. I want to comment my first condition. Then what will happen? I have to comment like this, and again I have to replace and a variable and here, isn't it? Like this.
Yes.
So it
Yes.
will disturb the total query if at all, if you don't have 1 is equal to 1. It's only a, like a meaningful way of writing, or a formatted way. That's the only change.
Okay.
That's the only
Okay.
purpose. I can write
Okay.
0 is equal to 0 also,
Okay.
because it's a true condition, right?
Mhm.
Not only just this one. Let us say I can write A is equal to A. This is also true condition.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now click on data. Yeah. Now here, if you observe, transaction number is 1074 and transaction ID is 104062, and you just click on tree view. When you click on tree view only, you can see the parameters.
Mhm.
And customer transaction ID, can you see here? From here it is passing 4062, and 1074 was my transaction number. We are able to get the data of that.
Mhm.
Okay. Now let us say,
Okay.
if you want to have, now here what is happening is you are making a mandatory selection right now. Let us, I don't want to select any transaction number, but still I want to get all the data, or maybe I want to show all
Mhm.
all kind of thing, right, in the parameter LOVs. So for
Mhm.
that, what you do is click on the LOV, click on the parameter, not LOV, click on the parameter, and here you have an option called can select all. Can
Mhm.
select all, but now
Mhm.
there is a logic change we required now. So when you select all, you have two options. When you select all, it shows two options: whether
Mhm.
null value passed or all value passed. Nothing but,
Mhm.
so observe here. Let us say I'll go with the first option now, null value passed.
Mhm.
Yeah, now it's not refresh yet. Yeah. Now It is showing all, right? I
Mhm.
selected all, click on view. Now what is happening? What is the value of this parameter? It is null.
Mhm.
It is null here, right? Now,
Mhm.
let us say I'll select the parameter now. I'll select a P2LOV this again. And here, instead of null, I'll select all. And then again, I'll click on save, click on
Mhm.
the query. Again, click like this, click
Mhm.
on view. Okay. Yeah. So we are getting some issue because here, yeah, I'll tell you the reason why. Because here it is passing, here it is expecting number, but here it is what is happening is it is passing a character. I'll just comment this line for now. I want to show what it is returning now. Okay. Click
Mhm.
on data, click on view. Now, can you see what is happening? It is passing all the transaction numbers.
Okay.
Now, see here. What we selected in the P2LOV, we
Mhm.
mentioned all value passed.
Mhm.
All values are getting passed now. This is not
Mhm.
correct way of passing the values generally. Now, what is happening is if you select here, it is sending larger data right here unnecessarily. Then
Mhm.
what is the need of all sending all this data? Instead of that, what we can do is best thing is mention null value passed, mention null value passed, and then what we have to do is we have in the query we have to change a little bit. So here what we have to do is
Good.
y-
NVL.
yes, that's it.
Okay.
So now whenever user selects all, this P2 LOB value will be null. So we just simply mention NVL, comma, RAT customer transaction ID. That's the only change
Okay.
like this. We are getting all the data now. So this is how we can change the parameters. And now let us, if you want to have only one invoice,
So if you go back there, so you're saying NVL, if and in the selection,
yeah,
okay, so here you said and RA transact equals NVL of the parameter,
yes,
otherwise use that. And then in the parameter itself, you said um, select all null passed.
yes. Then the parameter, what we mentioned is
Mhm.
select all, null passed. Yes.
Okay. And when you do that, you have to then just, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
And now, like, this is an independent parameter. So as of now, what is
Mhm.
happening is you have assuming that we have only one parameter. Okay.
Mhm.
But if you have multiple parameters, right? So then we just need to pass the parameter of one particular list of value to the another list of value. That is a dependent parameter.
Okay.
Okay. So that is also similar logic, but yeah, we'll do that also.
Okay.
Yeah. You have time now, or should we
Yes.
stop?
Yes. No, 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 I do.
Okay. How much time you have?
I have up to the next 30 minutes.
Okay. Sure. Now let's say I want to design another customer report, or maybe I can design a GL report. Okay. GL batches.
Mhm.
Did we discuss GL batches? I don't think.
No, no.
Okay. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to select the data. If user select like we want to select batch number in first LOV, and we have to
Mhm.
want to show the headers in second LOV, and then based on that we want to display the other information. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, GLJE batches. Yeah, this should be fine for now.
That query is not gonna work, right?
Yeah, I'll change it.
Okay.
Is there any column mistake or
Just you
from
have
clause?
from where. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, should be formatting. And when, yeah. So I'll just try to have ggb dot je batch id, ggb
Mhm.
dot status, batch status,
Mhm.
and maybe name. Yeah, ggb dot name. This is my batch name. And
Mhm.
similarly, I'll just try to display gjh gjh dot name, nothing but header name, and
Mhm.
then source will have it, right? Je source
Mhm.
category. Yeah, this should be fine.
Okay.
Now here, yeah, let us. This is my main query. Okay. Now we
Mhm.
need to prepare two queries. One is for the batch, another one is for the header. So now this
Okay.
is displaying the data of all batches with headers, right? Now,
Mhm.
yeah, you have batch ID here, and similarly, yeah, better to have the header ID also, right? This is batch
Mhm.
ID, and better to have the header ID also. Let us say gjh dot think je header ID.
Mhm. But most times the users don't want to see the ID; they just want the numbers, right?
Definitely, definitely, that is
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
So it is only for developer purpose. Once we fix our,
Mhm.
like, assume that your report is good, right? Then you have to comment the IDs or remove the
ID.
remove this thing.
Okay.
Yeah, till that time, as a developer, we require them to understand
Deb,
whether our
of
report
course.
is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now what we do is we'll prepare two LOVs. One is batch LOV,
Mhm.
another one is header LOV.
Okay.
So in the batch LOV, so it is always preferable to pass the IDs. Okay, even though, like, see, now we want to show batch name to the user, right?
Mhm.
We want to
Mhm.
show batch name
Mhm.
to the user and send the batch ID from this LOV.
Mhm.
Okay, and similarly show the header name. Correct.
Mhm.
So these two queries. Now I'll just select batch LOV. I'll go to list of values.
Mhm.
Okay. So query
Mhm.
got saved. I mean, when we click on save, if it is not giving any issue, it means that queries are fine.
Great. Yeah.
Logically, they are not. Logically, they are correct. Technically,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, sorry. Technically, they are correct. Logically, may not be. Okay.
Might not be right.
Yeah. So it depends, right? Yeah. Now I'll select P batch ID, or maybe, yeah, we can select P batch name. Okay.
Mhm.
And here select menu batch LOV, select batch name, P header name,
Mhm.
menu, select header. Okay. So batch should be the first one and then the header.
Mhm.
Now here, if you observe, as of now, these two are independent, right?
Mhm.
So now I can select something here and it will display something here. Doesn't matter, right? They're not at all
Mhm.
related. Now what we have to do
Mhm.
is our header should be dependent upon the batch. So what
Mhm.
I'll do is, so I'll select this parameter name, batch name, and here in the header LOV, I'll pass like this, gjh dot, yeah, now here comes a twist. Batch underscore ID is equal to this one, p batch name. So then now what I require, I need to join this batch table also here. In the header LOV, I have to join this particular one also, correct?
Mhm.
So in the header LOV, I'm displaying header name and header ID, but still I'm join. I require this particular header LOV is dependent upon the batch LOV. I'm passing the
Mhm.
batch ID, so I require to join the batch table also.
Okay.
I'll select this one and I'll go to batch. I'll go to header LOV and select this, save it. Now I'll try to go to here. Yeah, click on data. Maybe select something here. Yeah, right.
Mhm.
I think we have not passed it to the query as of now, right? Yeah. So to the query we have not passed the parameters, isn't it? So
Mm-mm.
now, and what we do is gjb dot je batch ID is equal to p underscore batch name. So I'm passing IDs. Okay, I'm passing IDs. That is
Mhm.
the reason I am filtering batch ID. Let us say if you are passing batch names, yes, you have to pass the batch names then. That's how it is.
Mhm. Mhm. So even though you, if we go to the parameter definition,
Mhm.
and when you finish, so yeah, okay, okay,
Now here, let's say I'll select this batch
uh huh,
and let me try to change another batch.
uh-huh.
Every time it is showing only this, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it seems this is not working. Okay, if you observe, right, this is not working at all. The reason
Mhm.
is if you're here, if you observe, click on header name,
Mhm.
there is an option called refresh other parameters on change. So you have to,
Okay.
yeah, so you have to click on this one on the batch on the parent. You have to click on refresh
Mhm.
other parameters. On change of
Mhm.
this parameter, you have to refresh the other. So click on save here. Now I'll
Mhm.
go to GL again. Maybe just scroll back, navigate back like this, so that will get refreshed.
Mhm.
I'll select some batch now.
Mhm.
I don't see it's getting refreshed.
Oh,
Yeah,
you have to click
yeah,
search, I think. Let's see.
yeah. It's working fine now.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Now it got refreshed. Can you see? Now
Yes.
it's showing 212 instead of 112. It's showing 212. Right?
Mhm. Okay. So what have you just done? You basing the header on the batch value.
Yes. Yes, that's correct.
And then if you go back to the query, you did that how? By joining, doing a join there?
Yes. If you observe the query of the main query you're saying this one.
Mm-hmm.
So here in the main query, we are passing two parameters, batch ID and
Mm-hmm.
header ID.
Mm-hmm. But in one, you're making it dependent on, so the subset of the header is based on your batch selection.
Yes. So now if you observe the batch query is independent, but the header is a dependent query.
Mm-hmm.
Header is based on the batch name, batch ID.
Okay.
Header LOV is based on the batch ID.
Okay.
And also here in the parameter, what we mentioned for the parent, nothing but the batch, ref, we have to select this option so that the other LOV will get re-executed whenever this value got selected.
Okay. Refresh other parameters on change of batch name. So the other, what if you had like four more parameters? How how would it know? Um, will it say you had batch name, header name, and another parameter? Would it
Yeah.
then
Mhm.
it'll do refresh all the others based on the first selection, right?
So when you have this option, now let us say whenever you change this batch, all the list of values, right, that will get
Mhm.
re-executed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I noticed you said, okay, on the parameter, you called it p batch name, right?
Mm.
But in the join, it's actually using the ID, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So you view that in the,
That is correct.
okay.
So yeah, the ideal case would have been like this name should have been batch ID, and here you
Mhm.
can still mention batch name. So now for the
Okay.
parameter sake, it should be batch ID only actually. It should not be batch name. It's again
Mhm.
misleading, right? It should be batch
Yes.
ID and the name should be batch name so that it will not confuse the user. For developer, they
Mm.
can easily understand, okay, batch name is like display and what are the
Mhm.
parameter, that is what matters for the developer.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So if at all, if this parameters to be shown in the output, right? So like
Mhm.
a same thing, like get the XML data. Yeah, here
Mhm.
comes the twist again. Now what is happening is here we are passing the IDs. Here we are getting the
Mhm.
IDs. But now let us say if you want to display this information in the report, now what is happening is you're displaying IDs, which does not make any sense.
Mhm.
Then what we have to do is we have to prepare one more query. We have to prepare one more query, which will get the batch name as well as header name. And using that particular group, we have to display the information in the output.
Okay.
Yeah, what I mean to say is now yeah, it's like re-executing multiple queries, but there is no other option. Now let us say I want to display batch name in the output. I want to display batch name in the output. Okay.
Mhm.
Then what I can do is now I'll just prepare one more group. Now for this one, I'll just say I'll create one more group, batch
Mhm.
details like
Mhm.
this. Okay. Now I'll click on
Mhm.
data. Now what is happening? In this G2, I have my batch name.
Mhm.
In this G2, I have my batch name. So when I
Mhm.
design template, so I can display my batch name from G2, the parameter,
Okay.
the parameter. And similarly, now let us say if at all, if you want to have the header name also, maybe yeah, we can try to adjust in the same query, or maybe we can design one more query also.
Okay.
Okay. Now let us say, like assume they are totally independent, and if it is a issue, what we can do is let us say I try to design another query for that. So here batch name
Mhm.
and this header name, right? So now this is getting my header information. Let's say header details. So if you click on data, click on view. So now this is G1 is total full data. G2 is get
Mhm.
G2 gets my batch name. G3 gets my header name.
Okay.
Okay. Now let us say, yeah, maybe if you join lines, you would have got multiple lines data. And so then it would have been interesting, but still, I'll just
Mhm.
click on export.
But why you have different groups for batch name and header name,
See
but
now,
it.
now
Mhm.
in this case, yes, in this case, it is possible to have, yeah, I understand that. So in this case, it is possible to have G2 and G3 in a single group. It is still possible, but in some
Yeah.
scenarios, it may not be possible. Yeah, other option also I'll tell you. So now instead of having two groups, what I would have done is, let us say I could have done a subquery like this, like maybe um, like this I would have done batch name,
Mhm.
header name from Jewel. Yeah, this is another option. Actually, this is the best option.
Okay.
So in our scenario, yes, we would have possibly we can join both of them, but in some scenarios it is not possible.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I can have batch name, header name in a single group, so I don't require this third group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Save it. Data. Okay. I got my batch name. I got my header name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now we can click on export. Yeah. This is my latest data. Now I'll create my new template. GL details TMPL RTF. Okay. Now what we generally do is insert. I'll just do a insert table, normal table. Okay. MS Word table. Now I'll mention parameters like this, batch name and header name. So we don't require a what you call iterative grouping. Simply select VA Publisher, sample XML, load the XML data first, and now we know what is the parameter, right? So click on field here, click on field, and from which group you are getting that? It is getting from the G2 batch name, right? So select G2 and then batch name and click on insert like this. Similarly, header name, insert. Now parameters it will display, and similarly, let us say if you want to display the other information, what we can do, we can have a wizard option, table wizard. We can select form. Now we can select which group it is, G1 only. Select next, select all the columns, next, and finish. That's it. Now we can see the preview, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is how we can display with parameters.
And if you had multiple rows in the table, it'll
Yes,
run for each unique ID.
yes. If at all, let us say if we had multiple rows, maybe in this case, right, very simple. What we can do is we can just simply join GL, JE lines, GJL, and
Mm-hmm.
I think GJB, not GJB, GJH, JE, header ID, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
GJL dot JE header ID.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure of lines of this information. So here is the here, right? JE line number, you can have it. Wait. I think I'm modifying the other place. Wait, I'll just change here. GJL dot GJH dot GJ dot JE line underscore number. Okay, I think then this will have a good amount of information at
Mm-hmm.
least.
You have two commas. Okay.
How come it is showing twice?
Yeah, because you copied it from your
Yeah.
notepad, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, yeah. So this is a very good one. Yeah, till two only two lines, but yeah, maybe
Hmm.
I'll try to have other one which may have more. Yeah, this is still good one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So in this scenario, right now, yeah, now I
Hmm.
just click on save, export,
Let's
still get the
create an
latest
Excel.
data model,
Hmm.
which is yeah, replace here, load the sample data again, load the sample data again. Now we don't want this group, right? This is of no use now. So I'll
Okay, sorry. This part, this RDF file, you just opened a blank Word document and then you did the import the XML, right?
yes, here we meant a sample XML. Which one you're talking about?
No, I'm saying this document, this Word document,
It's a plain
you
document.
just
Yes. Yeah.
it's a plain one, and then you just going to BI Publisher import like the sample XML and
Yes.
okay.
Yes. 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 I'll
Okay.
delete this one. Click on table wizard, table. I'll go with the first table. Next, select the columns. Finish. Okay.
Sorry, you just went to table wizard and you selected table and you
The group,
selected the
the
data source.
yeah, table wizard,
Uh-huh.
table, and data
Next.
set. We have to select the one. G1
Which
is the
one?
main
Yes.
data.
Yes.
Next, select all the columns.
And finish. Yeah. Okay.
Next, and
Hit
finish.
cancel.
No grouping.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So this is how we can generate, like parameters based parameters in the report. So if it will
And
parameters are yeah.
on the layer on the RTF file just now,
Mhm,
above that for the
mhm,
parameters, you
mhm.
went the same way, right?
Yeah, same way. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Do you mind just going back there? How
So
did
in the
you create the top, the parameter on top? How did you create that again?
you see, this is a normal table. This is
Yeah.
just a
Okay.
normal your MS Word table. Insert table
Uh huh.
like
Table.
this.
Okay.
So now we just
Okay.
insert table, type it parameters like this, and now let
Okay.
us say batch height, batch name,
Name and
header
header
name,
name.
and now here,
Mhm.
right? We don't
Mhm.
require any grouping because there's only one value. So we don't require
Mhm.
a loop actually. We don't require a loop. So what we do
Mhm.
is click on BI Publisher, click on
Mhm.
field, and now we know from where the field is coming, right? So in the G2,
Yes.
you
Mhm.
select here and select this
Mhm.
column, click on insert. Similarly,
Mhm.
go to this place, select this
Mhm.
one, click on insert.
Okay. Got it.
That's it.
Okay.
So it looks like an Excel sheet.
Did you just? What did you just do?
Excel, Excel. I clicked on Excel, preview in Excel.
Oh, preview next. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
And
we'll,
preview
yeah.
here, up here, you just went to, is that on the layout? Okay, I see.
Yeah, not layout, BA publisher. These things are all part of BA
Oh,
publisher.
there. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay,
Mm.
got it.
Okay.
Hmm.
So we'll stop here. We'll take a logical closure here, and maybe in the next session we'll discuss on the continuation of the BIB reports.
Okay, because you were gonna show Excel template as well,
Yes, yes. We'll show that.
and then running reports. Remember when I said if we want to pass a list of like project numbers as
Hmm.
parameter,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
Um, are we doing that tomorrow, right?
yeah. We can do that tomorrow. Yeah. If you want,
Uh,
now you understand. You understood the approach, right?
yes.
So you should be able to do. Or
Okay.
yeah, I can help you out if you want. Either way is fine.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much. That is very good session.
Yep.